with this price zone in here. It's something like this. I'm not drawing it perfectly. I could, but for the sake of the class, it looks something like this. Now, let me um let me explain something that I need to um bring into this series, right? This is fundamentals, but ORS, right? We still leverage some fundamentals information. So ultimately, with these levels, okay, these levels, there's only three expectations that we're going to have at these levels. Now, if you've been in fundamentals, you already know this, but for those of you guys that haven't, and I know some of you guys haven't, or could have missed those classes, right? Let me go and explain it. Okay. Number one, the first thing that we can, and this is not a order of priority or greatness, this is just a list. Okay. Number one, or the first thing I want to say that we can anticipate happens at a zone is that the market respects it. Okay. Respects it. And what happens with that is that we come up to a level and instead of breaking through, we go the other way. Okay. We turn around for a long time, for a good amount. For me, I have some rules for how I like to say something's truly respecting because sometimes it's just delaying. It'll delay at its own, not truly respect it. It'll look like it is right here and then it'll go through, right? It'll do stuff like that or it'll come down just a little and go through. It'll maintain structure, XYZ. So you have different versions, but ultimately it respects it. Instead of breaking through, it honors the level. Okay. The other thing that we can expect out of zone is the opposite. Okay. The opposite, which is to disrespect. Okay. Disrespect. Meaning, instead of coming up here and honoring it, it just disrespects it like that. Okay. Now, the last thing that the market can do at a level that we're expecting is where we have what we call a break and a retest. Okay. A break and a retest. And this is the combination of of a respect and a disrespect. It's just a different form. Let me explain. Well, here's the level in question. And instead of honoring the level, we break it. But what happens is we delay the honor and we use it on the other side. This is where the market respects the level. So we broke it here, we respected it here. So what happens is the market, it was a ceiling here, and now it becomes a floor over here. So the ceiling got disrespected. Okay. The ceiling got disrespected. The floor got respected. And this is called a break and retest. Okay. And so it's these three things that we are expecting when we're at these levels. So notice right here, we had a disrespect. Instead of honoring this level on here and turning around, we went right through the area. Okay. And then we came back to it. Now, the great thing is that when we came back to it, this is where we're able to take our triangle defense and bring it in. So, for instance, one of the things that you would have done here is when we when this got set up, what we would have done is we would have taken our triangle and drawn it like this. And you can see this becomes your defense, your triangle defense here. Okay? Just like this. And so remember what we need to do. We need to have the market end up respecting this level. Then we need to disrespect this, right? And eventually disrespect horizontal structure, okay? And so let's look at this. Here we are. We're back at the level, okay? Back at the level. And right here is our the market took off, right? Disrespected everything that we needed it to do. And so now what's the expectation? That the market continues to the downside. Okay. This is an easy play, right? This whole break and retest scenario. We love this, right? This is why, because what is this? This is our, as we said in with Fibonacci, right? This is the call. This is our impulse, our correction, and then we're expecting it to continue down. Now, it technically hasn't made it to its destinations, which I just noted that myself and trying to see what I can do here to participate in the festivities. Uh, Hopefully, I got time to get busy without how much. I don't know if it's, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it without yeah, it's not worth it at this point for me to I'm not trying to say it won't go further, but this is the first destination that I would be expecting this market to go to. This is called our safe TP, if you remember from when we talked about Fibonacci earlier on in this series. This is the next fib level. So at this point, it should get down here. Um, but without me kind of paying attention to this in detail, I can't necessarily make it worth it because I would have to, at this point, put my stop loss up here, and the reward doesn't match the risk. It's too, this one's a bit too lopsided, right? Too lopsided. But it's still it's still a high probability situation, right? I'll throw it on paper trading. We'll just let it be paper trading. Send. Okay. But this right here is a scenario. If I had more time, I dial this in. What I would try to do in this scenario, right, is I would try to allow this to continue to pull back right here. So you see how this is pulling back. I would want this pullback to get as high as I can, right? Like if I could get up in here, up in this area, this would be like an area that I might be looking to sell from, or up in here, right? So what we're looking for is we're looking for our areas of structure where we can see we have support resistance. We want these levels to be the level that causes this market to go right back down, right? So we're allowing this to come up, do its thing, and come back down, right? So like I said, I don't believe I'll be able to take advantage of this Well, I'm teaching you guys right now because we're not in live trading, but this is something that 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 I like, right? Standing out to me, right? We just have to, and I actually don't think this would be the final destination, based on some other things, but you have to play as if it will be, right? You got to move as if it is, and if you get more, you get more, but you just have to. That's how that works. So this is the principle. We're either looking for respect, disrespect, or disrespect. And so when you keep this in your mind, it presents, excuse me, all types of opportunities, right? All types of opportunities to take trades. For instance, over here, AU, this was another one. We can see instead of respecting the zone, excuse me, the market came on the other side of the zone. And this would have been our opportunity. Let's come over here and look at this one. Um, do, 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 do. Okay. Same deal. Market, instead of respecting our zone, disrespected our zone and then came back in. So as you're getting that alert of the market coming back into the zone, right? This becomes an opportunity to leverage our triangle, right? And at this time, it would have looked just like this. Okay. Now, one of the things that we're going to talk about more when we talk more about the two types of triangles, right? Your One of the things you have to really train your eyes to be able to see is to see this low high uh low principle or high low high principle. And what I'm talking about is we have high high low or uh low high low high. I feel like I'm in back in Hawaii. Low high. Uh low high low high, right? Everything out there was I's and O's and I's. Uh so and this right here is what you have to see in the candle. So for me, I see this high low high low. This is what is needed to form a triangle. Now, what I want to highlight here, and this is the adjustment I said we'll get. Um, One of the things that's important to understand when you guys are doing your triangles is that your your trend line, right? So the thing that we need to ask ourselves is, okay, what direction is the market trending? So in this case, it's trending up. So if the answer is up, that's what you ask yourself. What direction is the market trending? If the answer is up, okay, then your trend line is going to be focused on connecting to the lows of the market. Okay. So if the answer is up, your trend line is focused on connecting to the lows of the market. If the answer is down, your trend line is focused on connecting to the highs of the market. Okay. The highs. So we draw our trend line on here, right? This is I know I have I remember this is for whatever reason, this is one of those ones where um I've seen people struggle, right? Kyle, what's up, man? Ontario, Miss Joy in the building, Chicago, Vogue. What's up, Robert? Good to see you. Stone Mountain, Georgia. All right. Um, this is where I've seen people struggle, but I believe this will be your answer. Okay. So first you have to ask yourself, what direction is the market going? If the market is going down, then we want to focus in on the connecting the highs. If the market is going up, then we want to focus on connecting the lows. So here's going down. So notice my trend line is connecting the highs. If it's going up, my trend line is connecting the lows. Okay. Now, what I want to show you, if we come over here with Willie, what direction is it going? It's going up. So where's his trend line need to be? Connecting the lows, right? Connecting the lows. Let's look at over here, Molly. What direction is it going? It's going down. Trend line, connecting the highs. Over here, it's going up. Trend line, connecting the lows. Okay. And then finally, this is where I said we're gonna get you all there, right? This what I wanted to talk about. Um, in this scenario, what's the market doing? It's going up to our level. So what we want to do is we want to be connecting the lows, right? So it will look our triangle will look like this, right? Now, if you had a zone down here, then you would focus on coming down, and then your triangle would look like that. But in this case, right, we want to our triangle would go here. So this would be the respect of the horizontal. This right here would be when we disrespected the diagonal. And then in here would be another horizontal, and we disrespected that. We're going to focus more on that third disrespect. We're going to come in there and get that down. That's our impetus level. But I just wanted to show you um, it didn't disrespect it because the trend line should be on this side, right? On this side, because we're going up. Because we're going up, you're using the lows, okay? Let me know in the chat. Give me a high five if you guys got that. High five if you guys got that. And then explain it again if you feel you need me to explain it again. All right. High five if you got it. Explain it again if you need me to explain it. So remember our three things. We're expecting breaks. We're expecting disrespects. We're expecting break and retests. We're expecting respects. That's what we're hoping for at these levels, right? That's what we're hoping for at these levels. Okay. All right. High fives are coming in. Perfect. Perfect. All right. I'll check in just a second on that. Okay. So what do we have? We're coming down, so we're connecting the highs. And the base of your triangle is the zone. It's the price zone. It's the level. Okay. So that creates that base side, not base side, but base side, base side, base side, random television trivia, um, uh, television trivia moment. Base side is, is a popular, um, high school from what famous TV show? Um, what famous TV show? Just curious. See if you guys had the same type of some of you guys I know different generations, but I'm curious to see who in the room knows that answer without Googling it or asking Chat GPT. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to allow this market to disrespect. And then what do we need to do to finally change directions? We need to disrespect again. So notice right here, we have disrespected our so far we've disrespected our trend line, but there's a final disrespect that lets us know that we changed directions. And that would be disrespecting the horizontal. So we don't have all three things here. Okay. So we stay patient. And guess what the market just did? It made a lower low. So as it makes a lower low, we would adjust our trend. And there's some rules I'm going to give you guys that are going to make sure that we always we have the same rules every time. Okay? But this is still what we would be looking for, right? We'd want to disrespect. We want to respect, sorry. We want to then disrespect and then we want to disrespect. Okay? So we're still here. Nothing to see yet. There's a disrespect. Okay, it's still coming down. No problem. Okay, no problem. We're gonna make our adjustment. Okay. We're just being patient, right? We're gonna make our adjustment. We're gonna be patient. And here we go. Okay. And we're just looking for the market to respect. Okay, I like this, right? What pattern is this? Okay. What pattern is this? What pattern is this? I like this. This is good. This is what you want to see in your zones. Now we have a disrespect of our diagonal structure. What else will we need to do? Well, we need to disrespect the horizontal structure. And there we basically did it. It's like right there. You can let it get out of there clear before getting too carried away, right? Get a better break. There we go. That's a real break. Okay. And now, right, we should be going on up, moving on up, right? That's what we're looking for. We're looking to leverage, right, our triangle defense at these areas of supply or demand. Okay. This is what we're looking for. There you guys go. Who hit it first? Katie? Yeah, David. You guys got it. Um, Bayside High. Morning Star. Yep. Morning Star. Morning Star. Okay. Terrence said Screech. Um, I would have said Lisa Turtle. That was my that was one of my first little crushes as a kid. Lark Voorhees. I think you pronounce her last name a little different, but that's close. Lisa Turtle. Um, okay. Right here, this is what we're looking for. And so we're working on just keeping it simple, right? Keeping it simple. Okay, we're still we're still working on this. Not quite, it's still pushing up. Probably be a buy for a little bit longer. Um, gonna get higher. We gotta get probably higher. And then we'll come back down. So maybe by the time I get out of class, it'll be up in my sweet spots. Okay, but it hasn't changed. We're still, this is the beautiful thing about the triangle is that once you got the direction, you're just waiting for the formula, right? Now, what am I doing with these levels? It's the same principle that I want to see it respect one of these levels, disrespect my diagonal and start to disrespect. So right now I know it's going to go up, or at least high probability that it's going to keep going up because I haven't reached an area that it cares about. Plus this pattern is not legit. And that's another reason, but I could be wrong, right? But it's probably going to go up for a little bit. If it does come back down, um, it's fine. It's doing something else, but it's moving as if it wants to keep on coming up. Okay. Let's look at a couple more examples. Today, I just want you guys, I just want to take you on a journey, and we're just looking at the responses at these levels because this is, I mean, ultimately, guys, trading does not have to be as complicated as sometimes we make it. We just have to be more anchored in our approach and really just focused in on certain things, right? So here here we can see that this was more of a respect of a zone, right? But it was more of that temporary respect because we can see, and this is what's cool about the triangle defense. I'm just going to throw it on this chart. We can see that we never did the three-step process, right? We only did the two-step. So we respected here, we disrespected here, but we never disrespected here. And we still haven't, right? Not this level. Okay. Now we have disrespected here, which is why I think we're pulling back just a little. Ultimately, I have to look at this a little closer, but um, I don't expect it at the moment to come back below here. So my analysis is that we're coming down like this to then we're gonna shoot up. So one of the things that I would be doing is I would let this kind of pull back and then I'd be waiting to start getting alerts in here because I think that's gonna be another opportunity. But I'm way ahead of myself at the moment. So we're just going to be patient. But you can see here, this temporary disrespect, this right here it was just temporary. It didn't change the trend. That's the power of the three-step process, right? You need to get that disrespect of the horizontal structure to say that we've changed directions. Ultimately, if you guys know from my Kingdom series, this is just what I call a rebellion, right? Here's where the king would live, aka our impetus level, and the market, the queen's up here, and this is where the rebellion is taking place, right? And they didn't overthrow the king, and so they continued with their kingdom in that direction. Okay. All right, let's look at some more. Look at some more. Okay. Now, this whole little dance thing, I don't like when markets start dancing. this I don't love this little dance, right? But it's okay because you can still operate in the principles and still be excuse me, still be okay. All right. Let's look here. So this this was a respect, right? Respected the level and we can see it turned around. Right here, this is technically a disrespect, right? This one's a disrespect. But then it also kind of came back up and respected it later. So you have the temporary disrespect, and um, this is where as you guys get good at this principle, you'll be able to see like, okay, we might have broke my levels, but there's an order of operations. For instance, for me, this was what would have been my trend line. And so we actually would have never broken the the impetus level, which we're going to deal with on Thursday. I really want to dial this in and make this real clear. Um, this impetus level, we would have never really broke it. So technically for me, we're still overall with this, still in an overall uptrend until we start to break. So all of this that's happening, excuse me, is need some water. Okay. All of this that's happening is just kind of sideways movement. Okay. And what I love about the triangle is we're able to um whenever you see, like I said, whenever you see trends, so what do we see right here? I basically see a trend, right? Like this, because I see the low, the high, the low, the high, right? The low, right? High, low. That is always an opportunity to do this. Okay. So this is going to continue down until it reaches, a level and then eventually it disrespects. Okay. So that's one of the things I love about the triangle defense is it can help you bring order to your charts, right? By bringing in that trend line and seeing when you're getting those respects, those disrespects, right? This one right here on this side, I really like these. Man, I don't like this though. I had some what I'm not supposed to have is I had some like some yogurt. I was just craving it. I was tired of eating soup. That yogurt kind of coated my throat. Uh, right here, right, we could see we had the break here, okay? And then this is the break in the retest, okay? How the market came right back into here. This is good. How would we have got involved? Well, as soon as you start to see, right, that pattern, you got to see the pattern like this. Got to have a pattern, got to have a trend. As soon as we had this higher high here, right, that would have gave us the 1, 2, 3. Then right here, we would have been able to draw that. And then again, we're always looking for this whole respect, disrespect, and finally disrespect. Okay. And this is coming down. Cool thing about this, right? That it would have gave us, we would have known that we had an impulse here, right? A pullback. What are we expecting? Continuation. Why? Because of the Fibonacci levels, right? That we talked about, 23.6 retracement. 23.6 retracement, that's a continuation level. That's a very strong trend. So this is where those confluences that we've been talking about come into play. Okay? Come into play. So we're gonna talk about this more on Thursday, but this is what I want you to see. So here's again unofficial homework, but what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to come on in here. When I say unofficial, I'm just saying I'm not committing to grade or look at every single one, and I'm not giving these super clear instructions because I don't want to shift our momentum yet, right? But I still want you guys to be practicing. So what I want you to do is I just want you to come on your to your pick a pair. I don't care who you pick, but try to identify and label the areas where you're seeing the break in the retest. So in here, I can see that this was a break and retest, right? And you can come on in here and just highlight the area. You can circle it or draw an ellipse, an oval, or whatever you want, right? Ellipses. You come on in here and just identify the behavior, right? I would say over here, this is an overall respect, right? Respect of a level, right? You can come in and identify, right? Identify those moments, and then this is for sure respect, right? For sure. So come on the chart and just look at how price is responding, to your price zone, right? Are you getting breaks? Are you getting disrespects, right? Are you getting break and retest? Like just label a few things. You don't gotta go chart crazy. Just label it, right? This right here for me is a disrespect. Market disrespected here. Never got the retest. So it's just a straight up disrespect. Okay. So just label, do your best, but just try to put this information directly into practice. Disrespect. I have to go get some. There we go. Okay. Well, let's drop it right in here into the okay. Just come on in here and drop a and drop something, right? Now, one of the things I want you guys to see when you guys come in here, make sure you pick your topic, okay? So when you create your posts in level 2 and 3, come in here and pick your topic so that it shows up in our ORS section. Okay, so it shows up in our ORS section right in here. And so we're gonna publish it, but it'll be in that ORS community, right? So you guys will be able to see that inside. It'll be in the whole thing, but it'll specifically be in here. Okay. So do just like you guys did. Good job, Willie and Molly, by posting the topic. All right.